In our last Ipsos Global Trustworthiness Monitor report, the COVID-19 pandemic was the top concern globally for the public. But, as the pandemic has faded from our minds, we have discovered new things to worry us. From a burgeoning global financial and cost of living crisis, a war in Ukraine, and political upheaval, all of have added to our sense of worldwide instability and uncertainty. In fact, Collins Dictionary has chosen permacrisis as its word of the year, defined as an extended period of instability and insecurity. Given the way trust in institutions and brands has traditionally been seen over the years, you might expect that this is where we reveal that global trust has taken a turn for the worse and the foundations of society are starting to crumble. This has been the narrative that the Ipsos Global Trustworthiness Monitor has been fighting against since it was envisioned in 2018. To reiterate our overarching viewpoint, there is no evidence that there has been a widespread decline or visible degradation in the level of trust that the global general public has in the core institutions or sectors that shape everyday life. Certainly, the data from this year is reason to be optimistic. Trust across the world appears to be on a slow but steady rise for nearly all of the sectors and institutions that we measure. While the headline finding is that the pharmaceutical sector, still riding high in public opinion for its work during the pandemic, has taken the top spot from the tech sector, the more fascinating changes are at the other end of the spectrum. Government and social media, while being far in the red when it comes to net trustworthiness, have made significant improvements over the last 12 months. In the case of the government, this is the fourth year of incremental gain. This is likely down to the pandemic. To varying levels of success, it was national governments that tried to safeguard the public from the worst effects of the disease, and many within the public are grateful as a result. While the social media sector can lay claim to playing a role in keeping us entertained during the lockdown, the lack of change between 2020 and 2021 would seem to indicate that this had little effect on sector trustworthiness. Instead, it appears from social media sector's performance across the drivers of trustworthiness that instead we are seeing a softening of the public's deeply held distrust over the sector. The one exception to the positive story is the tech sector. As recently as last year, and going back to 2019, the tech sector was the most trusted sector, but since then it has been on a gradual decline and this year slipped behind pharma in the rankings. This decline in overall trustworthiness does not appear to have a specific cause. In fact, the sector still performs very strongly on the key drivers of trust. It seems to represent more of a reining in of the tech sector back towards a global sector norm, as the gloss and mystique of the tech sector has begun to tarnish in recent years. Overall, our key finding this time is that despite a year of negative news, political uncertainty, and economic woe, the bedrock trust the world's population has in government and major industry sectors is still improving, albeit slowly. There has been no seismic change. Some sectors are seen as trustworthy, many are not. But so far, the public's judgment either way is yet to be affected by the momentous events of this year.